In this video, I'm going to review question 9 from our second SQL assignment, and I'm going to do it in both subquery and inner join. List all the customers' names whose orders are processed by employee Robert King and shipped by Speedy Express. As always, think about what are data we need from the three levels: table levels, data attributes levels, and the value levels. Here, we say list all the customer name, so we know that we need the customers table, right? And then we need the customer's name from that customer table, and whose orders are processed, whose order we need the order tables, right? So then processed by employee Robert King, so we need the employee table, and inside that one we know we need the first name and the last name of the employee. And similarly, shipped by Speedy Express tells us that we need the table shippers, and then we need the shipper's name data fields because we're going to use the data value Speedy Express to filter that data. The Robert King and Speedy Express are the data values. Employee, orders, customers are tables, right? And their customer names, employee's first name, last name, and the shipper's name are data fields. So once we have this one, so we are ready to construct our SQL statement. So let's do it together. So first we need to join all the necessary tables together. There are three tables we identified: customer tables, employee tables, and the shipper tables. So we try to join the customer tables A inner, say put a new line inner join with employee table. No, we couldn't join the customer table with the employee table because we do not have the common data fields between these two tables. And we can join customer table with the shipper's table as well because we do not have common data fields either. So that's, again, we're going to introduce the order tables to be used as a linking table between the customer table and the employee table, and between the customer table and the shipper table, because the order table has that kind of foreign key for the employee table and the shipper tables and customer tables, right? So we join with order tables instead. B on A the customer ID equal to B the customer ID. So check the join first, make sure it's joined correctly. Okay, then we're again keep joining the employee table. C on C the employee ID equal to the orders table's employee ID, which is B the employee ID. Check the join again, make sure, yeah, we got employee table information. Then we're going to keep joining the shipper tables as D on D the shipper ID equal to order tables the shipper ID, which is B the shipper ID. Check the join again. So basically right now we got 4 tables joined together. Even we identified 3 tables are necessary, but because we cannot join those 3 tables we identified, we are missing the linking table. That's why we added the order tables as a linking table to join those tables together. So once we have this one, we just simply treat all these 4 joined tables as one big T, and which contain all the data fields come from the customer tables, come orders tables, come from employees table, and come from the shippers table. So we just put a very straightforward the limitation we want, the filtering we want. We want to filter by first name of employee. As we mentioned, if the data attributes is unique across different tables, you can just use it as it is. You do not have to specify these tables come from this one or this one or this one, right? Because it's unique. So we say the first name equal to Robert, and last name equal to King. And we also want to limit on the shipper's name. and the shipper name equal to Speedy Express. So that's basically we have the information we need. Okay, if we can run the query, of course we are missing a big table. Here the big table is all the 4 tables joined together. We just replace back. So we got this information. We got 3 of them. But we do not want all the data fields from these 3 records here. The question only needed the customer's name information. So we do not want all of these data fields. Instead, we only want the customer name. And that's about it. So we got 3 of them, right? So right now we just simply copy this query statement back to our this worksheet and along with the results. Okay, back to this one and remove the data format. Of course, you will say we can also work on this question by using the subquery. So let's do it. So in order to work on the subquery, of course, same thing, we need the information from 3 levels. And this subquery will be a little bit difficult because it involves 2 levels of subquery. But hopefully, we can work together. Okay. So first, in order to use subquery, we need to understand what is the final output from the question. The final output, of course, they just want to list the customer's name, right? So we just go back to this one and say we only want to choose the customer name information. Customer name from the customer table, of course. Customers. That's the final information we want to list for that question. But of course, we do not want to list all the customer name. Instead, there are some limitations. We want to list the customer name whose order are processed by Robert King and shipped by Speedy Express. So we're going to limit the customer's name by the customer ID, which we're going to find out from the X. So where we can find X because we want to find out the order are processed by employee Robert King and shipped by the Speedy Express. So X should be somewhere like a customer ID from the order table, and where the employee ID inside another subquery. This subquery, we're going to find out the employee ID for Robert King and shipper ID in this. So this is XX2. We're going to be another subquery which can use to find out the shipper ID for Speedy Express. So basically, let's work backward. First, we're going to solve the what is XX1, then replace here. What is XX2, then we replace here. So we find the employee ID, we find the shipper ID, then we're going to find the customer ID. Then we're going to replace the X back to this one. Then we have the correct customer ID, find out. Then of course we can find the customer name from the customer table by using the customer ID we find out, right? So first we're going to say XX1, which will be the employee ID whose first name is Robert and last name is King. So which should be easy. Employee ID from, of course, employee table, where first name equal to Robert and last name equal to King. So basically here, this subquery, we're going to find out the employee ID matches the information provided by the question. We're going to test it, of course. So let's test it right now, just make sure. So we test it here. Of course, that's basically the Robert King's employee ID. If you do not believe me, you can just find out this way, or sorry, from this way. So Robert King employee ID is 7, right? So then we'll go back to find out what is the shipper ID for the shipper Speedy Express. So it should be something like this. Shipper ID from shipper, this table where shipper's name equal to Speedy Express, like this. So once again, we want to check this one, make sure it will find the correct shipper ID for us, which is 1. Of course, we need to test it. Go back to the original table if you want to find all the shippers information and make sure the Speedy Express has a shipper ID which is 1, which is correct. So basically right now we have the shipper's ID found out, so we just replace back, and we have the employee's ID for Robert King found out, replace back. Then we are hoping this query will going to bring us the customer ID whose order are processed by Robert King and shipped by Speedy Express. Sounds like it gives us 3 customer ID. So once we have these 3 customer ID, of course, we just go back and replace this one. So basically, where customer ID is in that 3 number returned by subquery. Of course, we cannot hard code that 3 number here. We have to use that subquery to bring out that 3 numbers, right? So once we have this one, of course, we cannot just run the whole thing here because the interface do not allow us to run multiple statements. So we have to copy the whole thing or delete these seams just to keep the final one. Of course, there's a bracket, say. Then you are going to click OK. There is a syntax error. Let's find out. Okay, I think we need another bracket because it's a 2 level. Because the first bracket is just for this one. The second is for this one, right? So we click OK. There's still one. Let's find out. Customer phone work. Okay, here we are missing a keyword which is in. So okay, there's another. That's funny. So we got these quotes, right? When we delete something out, so just we delete extra things. So here we got exactly what we can find from another inner join statement. Basically, I intentionally put this kind of typo there so you guys know if there's a typo, there's error, how to find out. Okay, of course you need to be familiar with those common errors we may face during our query construction process. So finally, we just copy this one to our this kind of Excel file, and this results basically the same thing with different order because our query we're going to get a different order. So that's not matter too much unless we want to make sure they are they are ordered by customer name alphabetically or whatever, right? We can also combine the subquery and the inner join into a single query statement. So let's do it together. For example, this statement includes the 2-level subquery to answer that question, right? So if we change the format a little bit, it's the same query, we just change the format. So we know this is a condition to limit the employee's names information. This is a condition to limit the shipper's name information. So if we do not want to limit the shipper's name information using subquery, say we just want to apply directly to this name information, we can join this order table here with inner join with the shipper's table directly. So in that case, say we of course were on A the shipper ID equal to B the shipper ID, right? So in this case, we have a table here which is joined table by order table and the shipper table. This table we're going to have information come from order table and the shipper table. So in this case, we do not have to use this shipper ID in this subquery anymore. We can just use the shipper name directly because inside this subquery we have a join table, and inside this join table we have information come from the shipper's table directly. So we can just remove this same. So we just use the shipper's name here and equal to this one. So that will give us this type of the inner join inside a subquery, because inside this one it is still a subquery, right? It still give us 3 customers ID. If we can test it, we can just copy over and test it. So it still give us 3 customer ID. Because why? Because we still limit the employee ID by Robert King. We still limit the shipper name by Speedy Express. So, but we just do it in a different way. We use inner join to limit the shipper's name, or use a subquery to limit the employee's name. So of course, that will give us exactly the same results here, right? But of course, you will say, how about we remove the employee's ID limitation and use it as an inner join as well? Of course, we can just join again with this table. Say, inner join again, employee table. As C, on what? On C the employee ID equal to the order table, which is A the employee ID. So once we have these 3 tables joined together, you can see here we have 3 tables joined together. We have data fields. If we replace with T, this T have data fields come from the customer table, come from the order table, come from the shipper table, come from the employee table, right? So we can just use their data field directly as we just did for the shipper's name. So here, once we join 3 tables together, we can just use this employee's first name and last name directly. Say first name equal to Robert, last name equal to King. So of course we need to delete this bracket. We do not need this anymore. So this will give us exactly the same results here. You can see here, because this query right now, it's an inner join method of query to get the 3 customer number whose order are processed by employee Robert King and shipped by shipper Speedy Express. So this in subquery is an inner join statement. But of course, we replace this thing with this one. So once again, these are at the top level. This is still a subquery, but inside the subquery, this subquery itself is an inner join statement. So we get the same results. So this basically is a combination of the subquery and the inner join. They can be combined in different level, and they can be partially combined. Part of it are combined using inner join, and part of it can be using the subquery. Of course, if you want to remove this subquery, that just simply become to the inner join as at every level. So if we say we do not want to use the inner join to limit the customer ID here, we simply can join the whole thing. You can see here, we join the customer here, inner join the customer with orders, but we need to give customer here a name. We have already used the AB, AB, right? And C, we can give user customer, say we say AA, for example, because start from the very beginning. So from customer AA join order A, then we're going to say on what? On AA customer table the customer ID equal to order table A the customer ID. So we join all the 4 tables together: customer table, order table, shipper table, and employee table together. Then we can use all data fields necessary. So we can just put these 2 conditions together, right? So, but the limitation condition is still based on the employee's first name and last name, and still based on the shipper's name, Speedy Express. So we do not have to change the limitation of the work condition at all. So we can just click OK. You can say, of course, there is like a bracket. We do not need the bracket anymore. And you can say still give us three customer name. But right now, everything here has been changed to the inner join style because we have totally removed all the subquery. Now, if we keep changing the format like this way, so we have better comparison with the statement we just work on using the inner join. Okay, so we copy this one back to our Excel here. So we just put somewhere here. And you can say these are two statements. They are exactly the same, except that we have different alias for customer for the tables here. They follow the same format, same structure, and give us a same name, right? Same information, same results. So that's basically the way we can you can say how we can transform from a subquery to a inner join statement. And you can do another way as well. You can transform from the inner join to the subquery as well.